You are listening to KSG Podcast. This is a short, crisp, concise, exam-oriented editorial for civil services aspirants. In this podcast, we are going to talk about UN report on sand shortage. Source for the content is Mint. Experts at the Kenya-based United Nations Environment Programme or UNEP have raised an alarm marking the worrisome rate at which sand is getting depleted from the face of Earth. Sand is deemed the most extracted solid material in the world and the second most used global resource behind water. However, sand's use is largely ungoverned. Unregulated extraction of sand has created a huge gap in the utilization and generation process. Sand takes thousands of years of geological processes to form, and its consumption has been faster than that. We now find ourselves in a position where the needs and expectations of our societies cannot be met without improved governance of sand resources. Sheila Agrawal Khan, director of the Economic Division at UNEP, said, and I quote her here, "If we act now, it is still possible to avoid a sand crisis," unquote. Now, sand is globally used in glass, concrete, and construction materials. Reports suggest the consumption has almost tripled in the past 2 decades. It has reached 50 billion tons a year, or about 17 kilograms per person each day, confirmed the reports. This overconsumption has resulted in harming rivers and coastlines and even wiping out small islands. Now, talking about the formation of sand, according to National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration of the US Department of Commerce, sand forms when rocks break down from weathering and eroding over thousands and even millions of years. Rockets take time to decompose, especially quartz and feldspar. Often starting thousands of miles from the ocean, rocks slowly travel down rivers and streams, constantly breaking down along the way. The tan color of most sand beaches is the result of iron oxide, the agency added. Now, talking about the importance of sand, sand is the most used material in the world. Whether it's about building concrete structures, walls, or even glass, sand is used everywhere. Due to increased consumptions, riverbeds and beaches are being stripped of sand, resulting in an environmental crisis. Sand performs key role in regulating the environment by protecting from storm surges, acting as a habitat for a number of species, and even protecting against erosion. Unregulated use of sand will disturb ecologically sensitive areas and put stress on biodiversity. Talking about the UNEP report on sand shortage, the report called for urgent action to avert a sand crisis, including a ban on beach extraction. UNEP's Pascal Peduzzi, who coordinated the report written by 22 authors, said that some of the impacts of overexploitation were already being felt. In the Mekong River, the longest in Southeast Asia, sand extraction was causing the delta to sink, leading to salinization of previously fertile lands. In a Sri Lankan river, sand removal had reversed the water flow, meaning that ocean water was heading inland and bringing saltwater crocodiles with it. Finally, removing sand from coastal areas can make coastlines more vulnerable to the impact of climate change, such as more powerful storms, according to the report. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. To join KSG India courses and to crack the ICE exam, visit ksgindia.com. You can also get a PDF of this podcast on ksgindia.com. Thanks for listening.